one in a million. This is actually my second video of today. So, welcome back to the One in a Million channel. My name is Eunice, and today we are talking about the fact that it's okay to have insecurities. I know on this channel we have talked multiple times across different videos that I've done about really like regaining your sense of self-worth and moving beyond your insecurities, dropping your insecurities, accepting yourself, embracing yourself, and all those delicious topics. And while those those are done with the intention to help you move beyond your insecurities and the things that make you feel vulnerable, I do want to make a point, and this is the reason I am making this video, because from time to time, insecurities hit. And when those thoughts creep into my mind, there's no denying, there's no looking away. And the only way for me to go through it is to go through it. And I think this is such an important conversation to have, to plainly just put it out there, to put it on the table, to have with you guys, because I know that especially in when we talk about spiritual development and self-development, we always strive to become more self-loving, and we always strive to have a higher sense of self-worth. We always strive to be able to drop our insecurities, to not think so much about what other people are going to think about us, to be less self-conscious, to not feel so vulnerable around people, and to not feel so easily attacked. But I think there's got to be also a level of acceptance where we can actually come to terms with the fact that yes, my insecurities are still going to be something that I'm working through. It's still going to be around, and at each and every single level that I go up, at each and every single level that I grow through, with each challenge that I bring myself to face, I am going to have new insecurities. What I was insecure before, I'm probably secure about right now, but then at a whole new level, spiritually, personally, mentally, emotionally, I'm still going to be experiencing different kinds of insecurities, of feeling of like lack of self-worth, feeling like I don't deserve who I am or what I have, or the people that I'm with on the next level as I move up. And this is just such an important acknowledgement that, this just hit me, because sometimes in the self-development journey and spiritual development journey, we can be so hard on ourselves, even on self-acceptance. We can try to be super absolute and make sure that we do everything as much as possible to in order to be really right with our pursuits, such that sometimes we become obsessed about chasing for that thing. Sometimes we become a perfectionist, chasing for, I need to chase down my other insecurities. I need to make sure that all my inner demons are gone. I need to make sure that I'm no longer afraid of, people's rejection. I need to be assured, I need to be, make sure, 100% sure, that I no longer try to seek validation from other people, that I don't find my source of happiness from other people. It's like, if it comes, it comes. If it's still there, it's still there. And there's really nothing we can do to force it out of our lives, because it's important to acknowledge that it is going to show up at every single level, and that there needs to be a level of acceptance. There needs to be a level of grace that we give ourselves, such that we can continue to move on this journey, because it's not about an absolute. It's not like, oh, once I've cleared all those insecurities, then I'll never have any of those again. They will never pop up again. They will never come back to bother me again. Well, but guess what? You are constantly evolving, and if you don't actually have new insecurities, you don't have new things that you feel a bit afraid, you feel uncertain about, you feel like, oh, I don't know if I deserve that, then are you really moving? That's the question. So I've come to realize that I had to drop my perfectionism around dropping insecurities and releasing insecurities. And I have to, sometimes I was telling a client, I have insecure days. So, what do I mean by insecure days? I have days where I know I can identify that I'm being insecure. So I know that that thought is not really a valid thought, but it's just purely an emotion. But I can't get out of my head. So what do? I call it an insecure day. And throughout the day, I'm allowed to be insecure. I'm allowed to feel all the feelings. I'm allowed to experience the insecurity. I'm allowed to feel the fear. I'm allowed to feel vulnerable. I'm allowed to feel even unloved. And then I allow myself to experience all of that. The power in it is that there's no denial. The recognition and the acknowledgement that comes from just accepting this feeling in the moment allows me to experience it fully so that I can be in my moment of vulnerability and I can hold myself and I can embrace myself without trying to shove that feeling away and without telling myself that I'm not doing good enough by allowing this insecurity to surface up again. So then there's no annoyance around like, oh, I have to deal with this again. There's no annoyance around that. There's no irritability around this insecurity because what we're insecure about, when it pops up again and again, we can start become frustrated at ourselves. We can feel like, ugh, why haven't I worked through it? I was working on this for a very long time. Why are we not done with this yet? I'm so done with it. But can't we have a little more grace on ourselves? Can't we be a little more gentle on ourselves on this journey? If we are doing this for us, if we are doing this journey for ourselves and we're walking it, don't we want to walk the path with a little more love, with a little more kindness in the way that we talk to ourselves? And I have learned that by doing that and just by allowing my insecurities to be there, like some days I will wonder, how in the world, like how am I still not growing more in my subscriber numbers? I'm looking at those numbers and I'm like, oh, my channel is still so small. And I have those days, and I have those days where like people don't comment on my videos and I'm like, people don't love me. They don't love me. They don't love my channel. They don't love my content. It must mean that it's not making an impact. It must mean that I'm not making a difference in the world. And I have those days. And it's okay to have those days. And sometimes I look at, other people's couple photos and I'm like, oh my gosh, their partner is so happy to take photos with them. Why won't my husband take photos with me? Why won't he be happier to take couple photos together? They look so loving, and look at me and look at my relationship. And all these ideals that I've projected and all this like insecurity that I am aware of, that is in my reality, that is in my awareness, but I have had a very hard time overcoming them. And there's a certain point that we need to come to an acknowledgement with ourselves that, you know what, that's okay. That's okay. I can keep moving forward. I can keep learning. I can keep dealing with my shadows and my pain and my past traumas. And at the same time, I can be graceful with myself. I can continue to learn to love myself more. And I can continue to strive for better without being super strict on myself, without having super high expectations on myself, without being so harsh on myself. And that is the best way to loving yourself. So this is the grace that I give, that I've learned to give myself on the days where I just feel so insecure because someone said something, or I was triggered by something, or there was someone who unsubscribed from my channel. I mean, I'm using this as an example because it's like the most recent one. It literally went from like 499 subscribers, and I was so excited for the 500th one. And then the next day I checked again, it was like 498. So it was like -1 subscriber. And then my heart dropped a little and I sunk into my chair and I'm like, oh my God, who's mad at me? Who did I piss off? Who doesn't love me anymore? Out of the 499 people that used to love me, one person decided to not love me anymore. And this one person is making me feel so sad. I must get through this insecurity. Okay, how am I going to get through this insecurity? It's like, you know what? I'm gonna let myself have it. I'm gonna let myself have an insecure day. I don't exactly understand what it means. I don't exactly understand what my insecurity is here to teach me. Yes, I know it's here to teach me more about my self-love, but I don't think I have the capacity to give myself that level of love right now. Can I come back to it later? Yeah, probably. Is the theme gonna go away? No, probably not. So can I give myself some grace right now? Maybe, maybe, just a little. And then, and then you move through it. So that is the beauty. And the beauty and the diversity and the, oh, I shouldn't have said diversity. It's not diversity. It's the beauty and awe of our journey. When we can move through our insecurities with grace and love and hold space for ourselves for what we are not yet ready to heal, then we will find ourselves on the next level. So sending you guys so much love. Thank you for tuning into this video. I love you all. And let me know what you guys think of this conversation. I would love to hear from you. With that said, I hope you're having a beautiful Saturday. I love you, and I will be seeing you in the next video.